What's good, you guys? Welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join the journey. You guys already know it's your girl Allie, and I'm back with another video. As you guys can tell, I am feeling much better. I still have like a light headache, but other than that, I am feeling a lot better. My daughter's feeling a lot better, and that's all I can ask for. But today, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and I'm going to do a reaction video to Shyla Walker's first documentary. I believe it's only part one, but we're gonna go ahead and watch the series. So yeah, just to keep guys a little heads up and on the edge, we're gonna go ahead and react to the first video. I have some goulash with me. I just got done making dinner. I'm extremely hungry. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get into this video. I was gonna start watching it, and then I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and react to it instead. I believe right here.
We're grabbing
Can't
burgers
really
for
do
dinner
anything
if you're
about these
interested.
ads, but that's
I'm
okay.
vegan, Walter.
Something that stuck with me, my mom would always tell me, follow your passion and it'll lead you to your purpose.
I like that.
And I want to share my story with you guys, but to do that, we have to start at the very beginning.
I like the way this was started.
Growing up, it was my brother who's younger, my sister who's older, and myself. With our mom, our dad wasn't around too much. If he was, it was very inconsistent. My mom worked 2 and 3 jobs my entire life just to make ends meet, and we were still barely making it. I wouldn't go on social media too much. I would do it how I do now, like pop in every few months, like post a selfie or whatever. I was working various jobs. I was modeling, I was selling things online, I would buy clothes, I would go to like thrift stores, buy like vintage Nike pieces, I would resell them. By this time, I'm 18, fresh out of high
That's a
school,
good idea. That's
fresh
a
out of
hustler, you
college
guys.
now at this point. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna be on my grind. I'm not gonna date. I'm not gonna talk to anyone. And I really did just that. I checked my messages on Twitter one day, and there's a message from a guy in there, and it says I'm following him, but he's not following me. I'm like, who is this guy? How do I know him? Just kind of intrigued, like, oh, hello, you know. Long story short, he's like, do you want to go on a date? I don't really know if I want to go out. Like, I'm not really doing the whole dating thing. He's like, do you want to go see a movie? And I was like, okay. And I don't remember, I think it was my friend was like, you don't have anything to do. Like, you might as well just go see a movie and just like, okay. And I was like, I guess. So like, I rolled up like half an hour late. Like, wasn't really thinking about it, right? Ended up having a really good time. From that day on, I ended up talking to this guy like every day. And I was like, uh-oh, like, this is not part of the plan. So this is at the same time that my independent like career is starting to really build, and I got a big offer to work with a company in, I think it was London. And so I didn't even have a passport at that time. So I had taken my passport photos, and I remember like it was like the week before my trip. Had my
Obviously,
flights,
she's talking about
everything.
like
And
Landon
the guy I
McBroom
was
in
like
this
dating
situation.
at the time, he's like, well, if you go, I want to be the one to like take you to the airport. And I just knew in my heart, if I left, that would be it, because I'd be gone, I think, a month or something. In a month, when you just newly started dating someone. But I stayed, and we ended up.
Son,
Mm.
we're grabbing burgers for dinner if you're interested.
Shyla, I know you gotta make money off these
Dating,
ads,
we
but
ended up
girl.
getting our own apartment together. I worked 2 jobs to get that apartment. I was so proud of myself. So after we moved in together, his family was already kind of getting into the YouTube space, so that kind of piqued our interest. We saw so many people doing like cool things, and you get to make new memories because you want to film them. So I was like, wow, that's dope. We're going to travel, we're going to have all these experiences and do funny things and fun things, and we'll get to have it all. So we thought that'd be so cool. Problem was, I worked 2 jobs, he worked one. We only had an hour window. I only had an hour window in between my first and my second job. We said, okay, let's make it happen. So I would rush home, immediately shower, get ready in like 10 minutes, film an entire video in like 30 minutes. He would start editing it. I would go to my second job, come home, I would finish editing it, and then we'd start like posting. So it
Oh
ended up
wow.
being really fun.
Welcome back, LNS Channel.
Good morning, guys. Hi, everybody. Morning, guys, and welcome back to This Is LNS. And it started growing.
Love
Like,
that.
okay, this is cool. This is fun. We're having fun stuff. We're laughing. Like, it ended up being really good.
You don't even know what you're doing.
So, along with the good stuff on YouTube, quickly the bad followed. And it started with me. Things were fine, things were good. And then I started noticing I would be attacked for little things. And at first, it was like 1 or 2, and I would laugh about it. And, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you wearing that? Why are you so loud? Why are you sounding like this? And I was like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't really care. I'm living my life. They're just words. It can't really hurt me, right? And that started becoming more and more. And then people would, like, reach out to me, the more followers I got, and I would just kind of brush it off. It did make me a little insecure. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little insecure when so many people are attacking you for the same thing. You start to wonder, okay, is it? And just like the way you look, the way you sound, things that you can't control. Our entire YouTube channel just thought I had like a silver spoon, like I was born into privilege. I feel like it's so easy to judge a book by its cover, and in my situation, people were so quick to judge me and just assumed that I was rich, born into money, or I was with my boyfriend at the time for money. And part of me wanted to be so defensive and be like, you don't know me, you don't know where I came from. But the other part of me was kind of flattered that I had been through all of this and I hid it so well. And so part of me was kind of flattered, like, I can handle myself well enough that people don't even know what I've gone through. So,
Well, that's facts.
it did start affecting our YouTube channel. I wanted to do it less. And I started to change those things people would attack me on. You know, instead of like being so happy in an intro, I would calm it down because that's what they said they liked.
Welcome!
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in and being here. I was annoying if I was too loud, or, you know, if I wore this, I was doing too much, or if I didn't smile when someone walked in the room, it meant that I didn't like them, or if I didn't look happy the entire time, something must be going on. And I was so self-conscious of my every movement, and I tried to really watch everything, and I tried to just shrink myself to make others feel more comfortable and to fit into a space that I now know I truly was never meant to fit into. So before I got pregnant with my daughter, I started messing around with some ideas. And I would stay up late at night trying to figure it out. I feel like I'd spent all day, my entire adult life at that point, living for like us. And I wanted something for me, something that made me want to get up in the morning, something that I was proud of, that didn't follow like, we did this, like I did it on my own, and it was mine, and I could do anything I wanted with it. So how I started is I wanted to start a brand. So I went on Google and I just started looking up images of things I liked and how I could change them. And I printed them out, I cut them out, I glued them on a paper, and I made like a little scrapbook almost. And you know, like when you're in school and you have a book report and they put them in, you have to put them in those like nice laminated folders. That's what I did, right? I didn't know where to start, but I was really proud of this. I wanted to start somewhere. So I started printing and drawing arrows and what I would change and how this could be innovative. And I had an entire book of it. And I was so proud of it. And in a way, it was like a vision board book, but I was too shy and embarrassed to tell anyone my dreams. So I would never have had a vision board up because I would have died if someone would ask me, like, what is that? Like, I'm so private about my stuff. Even like now, I don't really talk about what's going on. So I just had it in a little book. I'd keep it on my desk. Every night, I would go in there and try to make some type of progress. While I was busy working on me, trying to find myself, chase my dreams, I ended up getting pregnant. And a lot of people don't know, actually, I wanted to get pregnant. So my daughter was born December 2019. I had a bit of a difficult pregnancy. In the beginning, it was really rough, kind of balanced out. I thought I knew so much, but really I knew nothing. Like I feel like I didn't even mean anything. Like my life didn't matter until my daughter came. So after my daughter
Oh,
was born,
I love
everything
that.
changed. It was like in this relationship, it's almost like I had like blinders on. I couldn't see the entire picture. I couldn't see what was really going on. But once I had my daughter, I was able to see things in a whole new light. And I
Soul's gotten
realized
so big.
just how bad my relationship with her father was. And I learned what abuse was. I knew what abuse looked like growing up and seeing it from my parents, but I thought if it wasn't exactly like that, or if the fighting or the abuse wasn't daily, then maybe it wasn't abusive. It was just a sometimes thing. But once I had my daughter, I just knew I didn't want her to grow up like that. And I was raising a newborn on my own while recovering from a C-section, no sleep. I felt like I felt really low. That was I think I definitely struggled with a bit of postpartum depression as well. And that was really hard for me. And I felt like I'd failed this little girl before she even had a chance. And I had realized the severity of my situation. And I thought, like, how did I try so hard to avoid men like my father and the things that my mother went through? And here I am in almost an exact replica of this situation. How did I get here when I tried so hard to run away? So,
Now, I'm not in the
what did I do?
relationship. I'm not in the relationship, right, that they had. But you've talked really bad about your father, and I just don't feel like they are identical. I mean, maybe like you guys did have problems, but like, would he exactly be like a replica of your father? I don't know. I mean, my real father seems more of a replica to her father from what she has spoken about him.
I want to start exploring what I want to do again. And I wanted to start this brand. So I pulled out my my scrapbook, hadn't even opened it up in this new house yet. And it just re-inspired me. And I was like, okay. I had no idea where to go from here. I was Googling like how to start a brand. So I started where everyone in LA starts. So I went to downtown LA. I started collecting fabric samples. I started just looking around, just trying to get a feel for what it was. I explored wholesale. I explored every option that was there. I did. I took my mom with me, and we just kind of wandered around. Didn't really know where I was going, didn't know what I needed, but was just trying to start somewhere. So I thought, okay, am I really going to commit to this? And I remembered my mom's like, I heard her voice and she's like, follow your passion, it'll lead you to your purpose. Follow your passion, it'll lead you to your purpose. And I'm like, no idea how this could like possibly lead me to my ultimate goal is to win like a humanitarian award. Like I want to be a superhuman is like my goal. So I thought, how the hell could following this lead me to where I want to be? No idea. I'm gonna do it though. Around this time, things in my relationship were the worst they'd ever been. Extremely volatile, and things started getting extremely dangerous, which was a massive part of our relationship. and it was something I'd known the past 4 years. So not only was this the end of our relationship, but it was the end of our channel.
You need help. You're such a liar. You're trying to manipulate me.
I called 911 and I said, like, they're kidnapping my baby. Like, please help me. And I ran back as fast as I could to Joe and I gave a description of what he was wearing and I put it on speaker so that he would know I was really calling 911.
You can call me crazy. You can call me unsure stuff right now, dude. I just went through the worst thing in my life. Like, I cannot trust you. I want to be able to trust you with our daughter. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm scared you're going to take her and, like, try to keep her there and try to say, like, I'm crazy. Like, I'm terrified of that. Like, I don't want you to take my daughter. Like, she is literally all I have. Like,
Drove around, like, panicking, like, where am I going to take my kid? Like, trying to figure it out. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Just crying.
getting no arcs right now in the car because I'm fearful to go home. I believe they're trying to kidnap my daughter.
I have a new video for you guys because Landon and Shyla's breakup has turned dark. This past weekend, Shyla released images of what Landon physically did to her, and this is not okay.
He fakes his stuff on Instagram to look like he's a good guy, a good person.
So at the time,
That's
being bullied
crazy.
on YouTube was the worst it had ever been for me. I was taking time off because of the trauma I was dealing with in real life, so I was stepping back more, which increased the bullying times 10, times 100%. I was hated. I was getting death threats, and no one knew what I was going through in real life. And since I was forced to stop the YouTube channel, I was terrified. It was all I had known, and I was so deep in the rat race that I was convinced if I did not continue YouTube, I would not be successful. It was as much a part of my life as it was to wake up and have a cup of coffee. I thought, what am I going to film? How am I going to film content? And I was still trying to film content on my phone to try to save for when I got back on YouTube. Like, I was convinced, but being forced to stop showed me that, like, I didn't need it. Like, I was capable of making it without something and starting from back at square one, and I was gonna make something of it. And one thing that kept me going and feeling like I could be something was the brand, the thought of starting my own brand. So quietly behind the scenes, my brand started getting some notoriety, word of mouth, and I started realizing how many people behind the scenes were connected and they were talking about me, and I started getting a little buzz, and they were like having meetings behind the scenes about me. They're like, yo, you should work with her. Like, have you seen what she's working on? Like, check this out. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And started getting offers to, like, go out to lunch, and people interested in, like, investing in my brand, and I knew I believed in myself and in my brand, but it was kind of validated when I saw the excitement. Overnight, I became like a full-time single mom. I had lost everything, had no car, had a 1-year-old, 2 dogs, and I had like a week to find a place to live. I had all of our stuff in like trash bags, and I knew starting over wasn't going to be easy, and I knew it wasn't going to be a walk in a park, and I knew it wasn't going to be all sunshine, but I knew I was going to do it, and I knew all the adversities I'd faced up until that point in my life, that this wasn't going to be the end for me. I wasn't going to just roll over and die like everyone expected me to. I was going to get up, and I was going to fight, and I was going to fight, and I ended up staying with my friend half the time in her son's room, and I just hated waking up in the morning, and I just felt like I'd failed. It was a weird feeling. I felt like I'd failed, but nothing I had directly done had contributed to me failing. So it was a mix of feeling betrayal and failure, and like I didn't have any control over my life. And I would roll over in bed, and I would look at this little girl laying next to me, and I would just watch her sleep, and I'm like, I gotta do whatever I can for this girl. Like, I gotta do whatever I can. She deserves to live like a beautiful life. And all of this was happening while I was being a full-time mom, cooking every single meal, no nanny, gymnastics, sleep training, cleaning, taking care of 2 dogs. And so it was just a big juggling act. Through this, my daughter was my rock. If it wasn't for her, 100% I would not be here. I knew I was strong, but I didn't know my own strength until I went through this. And it was a massive turning point for me in my life and in my career. It was like a reverse Uno card. Things started falling into place. My career was doing well. I was not being bullied online anymore. I had opportunities. My daughter was healing from all the trauma that we had gone through. Through my relationship, I didn't realize how isolated I was from my family. I was talking to my siblings daily, FaceTiming my mom daily, kind of getting to a good point in life, I felt. And it almost felt too good to be true. No anxiety, no fear, laughter, amazing 2 days. And on that 3rd day, I got a phone call from my little brother about our sister. And that call would change my life forever.
Dang.
How the fuck did starting this take me on the ride of my life? I remember the leggings were bunched like this much at the bottom.
Sorry about my daughter, you guys, in the
It was
background.
bad. I was like, okay.
Okay, so that was actually a really good part 1. I wasn't expecting that at all, to be quite honest. Just because, like, she had Landon in it and all that. Like, I just wasn't expecting it. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up.